Hello everybody, Toastbomb here today to give you guys kind of an update video on the online multiplayer first-person shooter game that I've been working on, and it's sort of an update, but at the same time kind of a workshop video almost, where I'm kind of putting my ideas out there, and then you guys can tell me if they're good ideas, if they're bad ideas, good designs, bad designs. If you have ideas for weapons or maps or anything like that, you can post those down in the comments, and that would be extremely helpful and extremely awesome. So if you want to do that, feel free. And I'll apologize for the weird capture on the brush here. It's not actually that big, as you can see. I don't know why OBS is capturing it like that, but I don't know, just decided to do that. But anyways, this is probably going to be the primary, or at least one of the primary weapons. What I'm thinking of now with the design of the game is to kind of have something similar to Halo 1, where the default game type will just spawn you with a utility sort of primary weapon like the pistol, maybe not that powerful, but something of that caliber, kind of, and then have some sort of SMG or secondary fully automatic weapon for players who don't want to go that route. And it won't be quite as powerful, won't be quite as effective, but it'll be there for people who either have a really hard time aiming with the more precision type weapons that take more skill, or just prefer that style of weapon anyways. So this is sort of the silhouette. Now obviously there's a lot of detailing to go on here. You see here, this is very, very bare throughout here. It's all just blocked out because this is just a silhouette. And the reason you have a silhouette is just so you can get an idea of the shape and the major components that sort of break up the weapon, sort of like this right here. You can see that sort of breaks apart this from the gun, and you get an idea of how it snaps together, but at the same time it's at an early enough stage that it's very flexible, and you can change the shape very easily without losing all this detailing work that you've done. So I've worked a long time on the silhouette, and silhouettes are very important in design. It's very good to have a strong silhouette. It's very similar to something like Batman, where you see Batman or you see a silhouette of Master Chief and you instantly know who it is, even though it's only a silhouette. It's just black and white. There's no detail, there's no coloring, anything like that, but you instantly know what it is because of the shape. So it's really important in games to have a strong silhouette, especially because you're going to be seeing things at distance, like weapons and things like that. You're going to be seeing them from a really long ways away, and if they have distinctive shapes, then you're going to be able to tell what those weapons actually are from a really long ways away. So I've been working on this for a long time. For a long time, I was getting these really BR-looking shapes, where you have some sort of negative space here, and then the scope's up here. And eventually, I had finally got myself away from those types of shapes. It took a while, but I landed on something like this, and I think it's pretty cool. I posted it on Twitter, and people seem to have a pretty positive response with it, but I'm curious if you guys have any suggestions for what you would like. One person on Twitter was a little confused as to where the magazine would go, where the ammo would go. Originally, I had the idea of it being back here, kind of similar to, again, like a BR DMR, but I eventually landed and made it go here. I thought that looked really cool. Just having that there looks cool. That's a little bit different from what you'd see from Halo, which has this sort of stuff a lot. Even like the AR has very similar little magazine positioning there or whatever. So I ended up putting it here, and then the little I can't talk. The little whatever you call it, the exit chamber for the shells is probably going to be this shape here, but moved and flipped. So instead it'll end up looking a little more like that or so, and then the shells will be flying out of there. And then whatever you call the little thing, the little slider, like on a pistol that pops back towards you when you shoot, whatever you call that thing, that will be located up here. And then there will be some sort of digital readout here, which will tell you, your ammo or whatever, sort of like a BR, sort of like an AR. So that's the design of this weapon. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty solid. But again, if you have any suggestions, let me know. So now we get over to some of the stuff that I've been thinking about thinking about how it would work, if it would be cool, if it's worth, spending the time to implement, or, whatever. It would basically just be fun. And I have a couple ideas right now. The first one is a rocket launcher that basically acts kind of like a chew, a bomb chew from The Legend of Zelda. And if you don't know what a bomb chew is, a little bomb chew is blue. It's a little triangle-y mouse sort of looking thing. Kind of looks like that. And it's got little orange eyes here. So you put the little orange eyes. And it's a bomb that just travels along the ground. It doesn't get thrown in the air, it just gets set down and just travels along the ground. Now when it reaches an object, like a wall or something like that, like this, we have this cube object here, if it goes towards the object, it doesn't explode when it hits the wall. Instead, it goes up. Whoops, why didn't we have that color there? It goes up the wall like this. Then if it hits some sort of corner or some other type of shape, it, again, keeps traveling along that surface and has a time, and once it either hits like an enemy or something that is supposed to explode by, it explodes, or if the timer runs out, it explodes then. And I thought that would be really interesting because you have situations in games like Halo or something like that where you could have some sort of overhang or a bridge or something like that, or you have a shape like this, and you maybe have a player down here with the rocket launcher, and you have a player up here that doesn't know this guy's down here, but he knows that this dude is up here. So he could potentially fire the little rocket thing. It would go here, right up the wall, and go all the way around and end up exploding. And that would be pretty awesome. You also have situations where you could have some sort of hallway. Say you have like the pit. Whoops, I keep messing up my colors there. Say you have something like the pit where you have the rocket hull and it kind of comes out like this, and then you have the green hull over here. So green hull over in this area. That's green, and then this is dark here where the rockets spawn. In normal game type, not in MLG game type, the rockets don't spawn there. So you have the hallway here, and then needles are down here or whatever. And you have players that commonly like to camp on this yellow wall. I keep messing up my colors. Okay, this yellow wall. And you have players that sit here a lot. But if you had some sort of rocket chew launcher type device like I'm trying to think of, you could potentially shoot that thing, have it go against the wall, right along the wall, turn the corner, and then end up exploding right by the person who's standing up here trying to be all sneaky. And then they explode and they're dead. And I think that would be really cool. It leads to some really interesting situations. And I'm curious how you guys think that would actually play out. If that would actually be cool, or if it would be lame, or it would just be too confusing, or just not work right. I'm curious if that would be something that was neat and awesome or not. Then the next thing I've been thinking about is grenade types. And I'm trying to think of like unique style of grenade types, and the one I've come up with is like a repel grenade. It's some sort of grenade that when it explodes, it doesn't actually do damage. All it does is it explodes kind of like a pulse grenade right as it impacts the ground, and all it does is sends a pulse outward. So if someone was standing here, they would get flung out in this direction. If someone was, an enemy was charging you, you could throw it on the ground and they would get repelled back. If there was a flag sitting on the ground and you strategically threw the pulse grenade, or sorry, the repel grenade near the flag would get thrown in that opposite direction or whatever. So you could even have pretty interesting situations where you could have like, say we have the pit again. So imagine you have, or I don't know, maybe some people don't know this, but there is a part on the pit where if you're running the flag, here's sort of the flag base location sort of over here, there's a thing called plat. and you can jump the flag from plat to green box like this. You can jump across, but it's pretty hard, and you almost can't make it. And there could even be other situations where, it's too far, and you actually normally couldn't make the jump with the flag, or without the flag, or whatever. But with this repel grenade, you could potentially have a teammate or even you yourself throw the repel grenade out there, jump right over it as it's exploding. You come down on it and then get kind of skipped across and repelled back into the air, and you can make it across gaps that you wouldn't have normally been able to otherwise. I think that would open some pretty interesting opportunities, and I think it would probably last for, I don't know, how long? Maybe half a second, maybe a second, something like that. So it could also have other effects like area of denial, kind of similar to like a pulse grenade, where you could throw something and the players couldn't get past this point. So if you put it at a choke point, there'd be about half a second or so where no one could make it through the choke point because the grenade would just push them back. So those are my two main ideas so far, and then a gun silhouette there. I'm working on the game in terms of coding and stuff like that also, but there's really nothing much to show. But those are some ideas that I'm having for the game. So if you like those ideas, you can post them down in the comments and let me know what you're thinking, if you have any ideas or whatever. So anyways, that'll be it for this one. Thank you for watching. I look forward to posting more of these and working more on the game. So anyways, until next time, see you later. Bye.